I'm delighted to be joined by Treaty United striker Enda Curran. Enda, how are you?
Good, Raf. Thanks for having me on again.
Firstly, congratulations on reaching your 100 goal mark in senior competitive football. How does that feel to reach that milestone?
Yeah, look, it's a fantastic achievement. I think I've said it already for me, my family, my partner, friends, everything, and the club as well. I think I've said that I owe a lot to the club for putting that faith in me to get back in playing League of Ireland again 3 years ago now, and especially to Tommy, Tommy Calla, Mick Shield, all them for showing the confidence in me to get back and show that I could still do it. So yeah, look, it's an achievement that I was kind of always chasing, and look, hopefully there's a couple more goals left in me, and the next one might be the 100 league goals.
Today's draw against with Wexford FC, how happy are you personally with that draw, and how happy are the squad with that draw? Possibly being away, it's not as favourable, but still you want to avoid Derry and Shells.
Yeah, look, it's cup football at the end of the day, Rob. Anything can happen. I think we've seen that ourselves. UCD were the last time we met Premier Division team in the Markets Field in the FAI Cup quarter final was UCD, and like we gave such a good account of ourselves that night. Like if you were to look at anyone being the Premier Division team, people probably would have thought it'd been us. But yeah, look, you want to pitch yourself against the best in the country, whether it be Shells and Derry or Bows or Drogheda. But look, Wexford are a good side. They're ultimately looks like that's who we're chasing now for them playoff places, and it's going to be tough going down to Ferry Carrick Park. But look, we felt in the run of form we're in, we felt our chances against anyone.
I know squad would kind of say that they like to take games one game at a time, but there is that possibility of reaching another FAI Cup semi-final. What would that mean for the club, in your opinion, if we did get to that stage?
Well, as a group, like internally in amongst training and team meetings and stuff like that, we don't even talk about it. Our sole focus is picking up 3 points against Wexford. But like anytime you get to a semi final of a cup, it's always a great buzz around the place and the build up to it. And I think everyone remembers the day where we went up to, or the weekend, should I say, we went up to Derry, and like again, us being clapped off the pitch in the Brandywell by their supporters kind of goes to show that we as a club we warrant respect, I suppose you could say, in a certain way. And like we always give a good account of ourselves against any team we come up against. We respect everyone we play. We know how tough it's going to be down in Ferry Carrick Park. But we know on the day if we look after ourselves and do our own jobs and everyone plays to the best of their ability that we've nothing to fear against anybody.
You mentioned it there that we play Wexford on Friday night at the Marksfield, which is a 6 pointer in the race for the playoffs. Do you feel this is the most important game of the season so far?
Look, every game's important, Rob. Especially coming out to I think we've 10 league games left or whatever it is. Every game's important. Teams will beat each around each other, I suppose, and it's about it's nearly about the timing of it. I think we've been unlucky sometimes in like we've picked up a result and then the teams around us have picked up results. So like if we beat Wexford, it puts us in a great position in the running where we can go right. Well, if we pick up a couple of wins in a row, it actually pegs teams down below us again, and just it changes the whole view of the league table and the playoff places.
Yeah, and we're talking about playoffs now, but there was a stage during the season where the squad struggled a bit in the league. We've seen a recent upturn in form. What do you think has kind of brought that form?
There's been a lot of factors to be honest with you. Like I think we were kind of going through a rough patch with injuries. I know myself, I was out for nearly 14 weeks, and it's only now I'm kind of starting to get a couple of run of games together, and I feel like my sharpness is coming back. And like thankfully I've scored in the last three, Hearts, Longford, and Pike. So I'm hoping to keep that good run going myself. But like you also had David Tarmy was out, Yo-Yo was interrupted with injuries, Darren Nowenko, Evan O'Connor. Like we have had trouble with injuries. So, but look, so does every team. But I think in a certain way we've been unfortunate when we got injuries. We got 4 or 5 together. Probably senior lads that'd be probably featuring a lot throughout the year for us. And ultimately, we had to put in a lot of the younger lads, and like it was a great experience for them too. But sometimes you kind of have to nearly slowly integrate them into the squad. But look, this will all stand to us, and look, we're still in there fighting, and we still have a shout. So we're all really looking forward to the end of the season and getting going and see where it takes us. A couple of more wins, and who knows.
You mentioned there that you had your injury for 14 weeks. How frustrating is that as a player to be out for such a long period?
Uh, it's mentally challenging, Rob. There's no worse feeling, and especially personally, for myself this year, I came into the start of the season probably the fittest I've been. And I know that sounds mad because obviously I'm getting older, but like it's the best I felt coming into preseason. I played the first 6, 7 games and really felt like my sharpness was coming back. And I thought, right, this is it. I'm going to really kick on. And I had great aspirations of trying to really finish off strong. What we started last year. I know ultimately we missed out by a couple of points last year to the playoffs, but mentally challenging more so like you're sitting and you're looking at the lads going out training every evening and you're in the physio room and there's nothing you can do about it. Like I was feeling like I'm okay and I try and train, then I'd break down again and like in the end I had to go to Santry to get it figured out and I kind of been told it was a hernia. It wasn't a hernia, whatever came from it, but it was actually a torn adductor from my hip up into my ab muscle. So, because the muscle was so small, it was really, really slow trying to rehab it. So, I got there in the end. And look, it took me a while to get back and get my match fitness and stuff like that back again. But since I've got back, I'm hoping now that that's the end of my injuries and hopefully I can kick on for the rest of the season and for many more years to come.
Finally, I have to ask you about a celebration you had in Longford for the third goal. Did you have that celebration planned, or was that just an instinct?
No, Rob, it wasn't planned whatsoever. I've no cribs in saying it. There's been a lot of abuse hurled towards me down in Longford for the last couple of years. I thrive on it. Um, People were calling me names, calling me like it's water off a duck's back to me. But there was one certain individual that was giving it to me the whole game that day. And as the ball bounced and I hit it, I could hear him starting again. So I nearly just turned around and blew him a kiss and gave him a Jude Bellingham.
Enda, thank you so much, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
No bother, Rob. Thanks a million, man.